Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is another triple point card. For this one, I've used the Turtle Friend stamp set together with the coordinating turtle punch, and I've also used papers from the 6-inch Designer Series paper packs. In my last video, I showed you how to make a 6-inch square triple point card. This time, I'm going to make a standard A2 or A6 card. So, let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. My card base is in Cherry Cobbler, and this is half a standard sheet of card, scored in the middle and folded to create a portrait card. Then for inside the card, I have a crumb cake mat and a basic white mat. For the front of the card, I have another crumb cake mat, and I have a crumb cake Designer Series paper mat, which is from the Neutrals 6-inch stack. Also for the front of the card, I'm going to use some Cherry Cobbler Designer Series paper for the two wings, if you like, on the front of the card. And this is from the Regals 6-inch Designer Series paper pack. The card base, the two pieces of Designer Series paper and the crumb cake mat for the front of the card all need to be cut in the same way. So I'm going to cut from each of the top corners down to the middle on the bottom edge. I'm going to start by marking the bottom edge of each of these pieces in the centre. I'll then use my guillotine to cut from the top right to the centre point and then the top left to the centre point. So I'll create a deep V shape on the original mat, and then I'll have the two side pieces separately. This is how all the pieces should look once they've been cut. Don't forget to erase your pencil marks. All these pieces need to be layered together, so you've got two pieces for the front of the card base. The larger piece for the red paper is not needed. That can be used on another project. You've got three pieces for the wings, and then you've got your inside pieces, so your crumb cake mat and your basic white mat, and then the side pieces from the crumb cake paper will be used to decorate that basic white mat. Now, if you use A4 as your standard card size, then when you layer these pieces onto the white mat, they will not quite meet at the bottom or the top. Okay, if you use 8.5 inch by 11 inch card, they will meet. Adding the wings or the additional points is quite straightforward. You first want to piece the front of the card together, and then you're going to rotate the top point in towards the middle of the card, like so. If you want to, you can place these how you want them just by eye, but you need to ensure that the bottom points do not extend past the bottom edge of the card. They need to be in line with that centre point. Also, the points at the side, they must not extend past the edge of the card. And the same goes for the top. Make sure that the points are not extending past the edge of the top of the card. Now, I'm a little more precise when I position these pieces, and I've marked on the bottom edge and the side edges where I want the points to be, approximately. This is not a precise thing, it's just a guide really. It depends on how accurate you've been when you've been cutting these pieces. Now, I've already made my marks, and remember, I'm an A4 user. So my marks either side of the centre point are 12 millimeters away. Now all I've done is lined up the point with one of the centimetre marks, and then using a pencil I've marked 12 millimeters either side. That's 1.2 centimeters. And on each of the side edges I've marked at 34 millimeters. That's 3.4 centimeters. Now, if you use 8.5 inch by 11 inch card as your standard, the marks either side of the centre point need to be at 5/8 of an inch, and on the sides 1.5 inches. So that's 5/8 of an inch and 1.5 inches. I'm going to position the right hand section first, and now this is just a case of lining up the points on this section with the pencil marks on the bottom and side edge of the card. Once you're happy with the position, open up the front of the card, holding it in place, and draw a line where the two sections meet. This will show you where to add your glue. Now when you add your glue, don't add it right up to that pencil line, just in case you get some seepage. So make sure you take it right to the point so it doesn't lift. And then you can position your 2 points again on your pencil marks and press it down. Now I can repeat that for the left hand side. So I'll line up my points, and then I'll just check the top point to make sure that it looks the same as the right hand side before holding it in place and opening up the card to draw the pencil line. Then I can add my glue. Remember to take it right to the point, but not right to the pencil line. And then I can reposition it on my card. And before you press down, just make sure that that top section looks the same as your other side. And then you can erase all your pencil marks. And that is my card base complete. We just need to decorate now. Now remember, on the inside, if you're an A4 user, your paper will not quite go to the edge of the white panel, and there will be a small gap at the bottom. This is the Turtle Friends stamp set, and today I'm using the large turtle and its shell, and then I'm using the happy birthday sentiment and the grass. I'm going to stamp using our Stamper Artist platform, and I'm just stamping on a scrap of basic white card. And before I start, I'm going to use my embossing buddy to prepare the cardstock ready for embossing later. I'll position the large turtle first of all and then pick it up with the plate. Using Memento Tuxedo black ink, I can ink up my stamp and stamp it down, and then overstamp it again if I didn't do that first one very well. I can now position the shell on the back of the turtle and pick up the stamp with the plate. And then using cherry cobbler ink this time, I can stamp it down. I'll clean off my stamp and then I'm going to overstamp the shell using Versamark ink. And then I can cover this using clear embossing powder. And finally melt it with my heat tool. I can now use the turtle punch to punch him out. I've also created a basic white circle and a cherry cobbler scallop circle, and I use the layering circle dies to do this, and each of them are the second size down in the sets. I'm stamping the sentiment at the top of the basic white circle using cherry cobbler ink. And then using soft succulent ink, I'm going to stamp the grass at the bottom of this circle. The white circle will then be embossed using the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. And this is how it looks. It just adds texture. The two circles can then be layered together. Now I've already gone ahead and added dimensionals onto the back of the cherry cobbler scallop circle, but just down the centre. I can then position the turtle onto this panel. And then finally the panel can be positioned onto the front of the card. And you just want to make sure that that sentiment is nice and straight. And that's my card complete. I love that little touch of embossing. I think it adds a lot to the card. And here's another look at my original one. Now the colours I used here are Cinnamon Cider, which is the brown, and Soft Succulent, which is the green. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.